Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Kerry footballer Louise Mhuircheartaigh for the announcement of AIB's landmark sponsorship agreement with the LGFA, which sees AIB become the title sponsor of the coveted All-Ireland Club Championship. The historic 4-year sponsorship between AIB and the LGFA marks the first time a single sponsor has united all 4 codes of Gaelic games, Gaelic football, hurling, camogie and ladies football under the one banner. Well, Louise, it's great to get a chance to talk to you. Have the celebrations stopped or are they still ongoing?
They kind of calmed down a small bit, but we're still going around to schools, and it's a special time and a special moment to be able to bring the cup to the schools and meet the kids and stuff. So it's been a great time down in Kerry.
What was it like going back to your own school?
Actually haven't gone back west yet with the cup, but hopefully in the next few weeks. It's something I'm really looking forward to, going back to my own primary school and the public school in Dingle, and obviously the other schools in West Kerry. So yeah, looking forward to that. Did manage to bring the cup into Mount Hawk to the staff on our first day back, so that was very special as well, because they've been very supportive since I first started there in 2015. And they've seen the down and out Louise on a number of occasions, so it was very nice to be able to bring the cup back with Niamh Hetherton, who has just started there with us last year. So we're bringing the cup into the kids now this week, so looking forward to that.
Amazing. Yeah, I saw the video online and it was so lovely to see. Obviously, looking up to teachers winning All Ireland is something else. And I'd imagine it will take a long time to get around the whole of Kerry, especially having not won it since 1993. Obviously, none of the girls on the team haven't won it. So it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's huge. And, it's something everyone is looking forward to go back to their own schools. And last week, myself, Ash Connell, Eve Delan, alongside Darren Declan, went to some of the Tralee primary schools and the girl flash there as well. So that was very special, and seeing the kids so excited is just what hit you. How much you've done for the county and for the next generation. It's very special.
And has it hit you that you've achieved something you always dreamed of?
Yeah, I think it is fairly sunk in now at this stage. Though it took a while, but yeah, it took a while, but as I said, we're enjoying it, and we finally fulfilled that dream of ours.
Was there times when you thought this might never happen?
Yeah, there was a number of times, number of years where you'd maybe get a hiding from the likes of Cork or Dublin, and there was maybe just less than 10 years ago, one really stood out. Things were not going well at all, and I was on to my brother and Niamh, and thinking this will never happen, but they told me to stick with it. And I suppose things were gloomy for a while, but then Darren Declan and their management team came in, and the rest is history. They changed Kerry ladies football, and it's just in a great position at the moment, and I'm very lucky and privileged to have stayed on and have the moment with a special group.
Yeah, you've mentioned Darren Declan. Anytime that I've got a chance to speak to you, and even any of the girls, and look, they always speak so highly of all of you as well. It's definitely a really special partnership with all of you. Will they stay on? Have they talked about it at all?
I've met Dara for a few coffees, and the elephant in the room has been mentioned, but no, there has been no decisions made by anyone. They don't owe us anything at all. Whatever decision they make, obviously I'd love for them to stay, because they have just been unbelievable, and they play a huge part in our lives now, on and off the field. They're a very special crew, along with their entire management team. I could start naming them, but they all are so special in our lives. And yeah, there's no decision made, but we'll see.
How important is that, Louise, to have all of that stuff right off the pitch, like the management, and have good people around you in order to go on and produce the goods then on the pitch?
It's so important. I firmly believe, and the girls believe, that if we didn't have the boys behind us and their entire management team believing in us, and we wouldn't have the All-Ireland medal in the back pocket at this stage. We owe them everything. The passion and the drive and commitment and dedication they have brought since they came in to help us out in 2019, and they were in as a proper management then in 2020. We definitely wouldn't have an All-Ireland without them, and we're just so grateful for them.
Amazing. And for club then, obviously that is where it starts for everybody. It's so important for your club, Kirkagween, and tell me a little bit about it and I suppose why it's special to you.
Yeah, club is always special. It's where everyone starts off their careers and very often finish their careers with, ever since we set foot on Gallerus, back west has been special, and played alongside my best friends for years with the club, with Corkerina. And now I'm playing alongside girls that I babysat. So it's fairly special now at the moment. And I am thinking, God, I'm very, very old now at this stage. But yeah, no, we have a big game coming up on Sunday against Scartaglen in the intermediate semi-final. Scart are a very strong team, and they have been unlucky in the past few finals, so they'll definitely be favourites. But look, we have a young team and we're learning from every game, so hopefully we can play to our full potential and see where that takes us.
And when you have girls around you that you said you babysat, you can obviously see the knock-on effect that it's had seeing you go on and what you've achieved and the girls as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. There was our night back west. Three of them were in the pub with us that night. Orla, Cueva, and Nell, and we took a photo outside the pub, Ticket Heresy, with the cup, and they had put a picture from 10 years ago with the junior championship club with Corkerina together, and so it was four of us together with two different cups and in the space of 10 years. But yeah, look, that's part of our job as well as ladies footballers to be role models for the next generation. And yeah, we hope that we're doing them justice and instilling the belief and passion in them now. And obviously, seeing the Brendan Marin coming back to Kerry was special for the younger generation, and things are looking good, hopefully, in Kerry and for the future.
And seeing AIB come on board for the club championship, it's obviously brilliant to see uniting all four codes of the Gaelic games under the one umbrella. And that's exactly what I think everybody wants to see in the game. What would it mean, or what benefit would it be to see LGFA united with all of the codes?
It'd be huge. AIB are coming in obviously this year as sponsors for the ladies club championships, and it's massive, to have AIB involved. They've obviously been sponsoring the football, camogie and hurling with a number of years, and having all four codes now sponsored by AIB is unbelievable, and very grateful for them to help ladies football move in the right direction as well, and equality. And obviously the LGFA and GA coming under the one umbrella now in 2027 will be huge for the next generation as well. And it's something that we've always dreamed of, as young girls growing up, that we'd be seen as being equal to the men. And it's looking good for the future of ladies football.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant to see. I don't know if you saw any of the reports today that it's a long way off and that maybe 2027 might not happen.
No.
I just read reports today. John Fogarty had a report out today, and I think it's just basically saying that money wise and that it might not be possible. Would that be frustrating as a player, that if it is pushed back?
Yeah, I think everyone is kind of ready for it to be under the one umbrella now at this stage. It's a long time coming, and I think it has to happen. So yes, ladies footballers would love to see it happen in 2027, and hopefully they can change that and let it happen in 2027. But as long as it happens in the near future, it'll be good for ladies and ladies sports.
Brilliant. And overall, Louise, like, what has sport meant for you? Like, obviously playing so long now, so many people looking up to you for years. What has it meant for you in your life and the benefit that it's had?
Yeah, sport has meant everything to me. From a very young age, mom and dad were very supportive of myself and Colum growing up, and they let us try every sort of sport under the sun. And eventually we got our main draw with football, having played a number of years with handball and basketball and stuff. But yeah, it's meant a lot to me in my life, and I find a big comfort in sport. And you forget things that's happening outside of the pitch. So yeah, it's been very important, and I've lifelong friends made from it, and a special bond with special people. And yeah, I feel very lucky and privileged to have played football for so long, and yeah, I just love it, and it's a big part of my life.
Amazing, Louise. Well, the very best of luck in the club championship this weekend.
Thanks so much, Ashling. Thank you.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Armagh footballer Clodagh McCambridge for the announcement of AIB's landmark sponsorship agreement with the LGFA, which sees the AIB become the title sponsor of the coveted All-Ireland Club Championship. The historic 4-year partnership between AIB and LGFA marks the first time a single sponsor has united all 4 codes of Gaelic games: Gaelic football, hurling, camogie and ladies football under the one banner. Clodagh, it's great to get a chance to speak to you. How's things?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good, thank you. We're just talking about there under the one banner. And obviously there's so much talk in a minute about the integration of all the associations coming together. What would that mean for you as a player to see that happen?
Okay, it's brilliant. I think having AIB as the kind of, I suppose, lead sponsor in terms of being the first sponsor to have all 4 under the one umbrella, it's brilliant, and I suppose really forward looking and ahead of integration. As a player, it's brilliant to see other sponsors supporting our game just as much as the GAA and the Camogie Championships as well. It's brilliant to kind of have that sense of equality in the level playing field, and also just to be able to, I suppose, highlight our club championship. It's really competitive, and it's brilliant to be a part of. It's something I really look forward to every year. So to hopefully be able to highlight that and highlight our players and our games a bit more is brilliant as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant to hear about the sponsorship, and I suppose everybody else is wondering whether Croke Park are going to bring everybody under the one umbrella. And there was reports today that it seems like it's far off. They're saying that it might not be the 2027 like it was intended to be. Would that, I suppose, push things back for the LGFA in terms of growth, that if it doesn't become under the one umbrella?
Look, I do think the LGFA are still growing each year. There's still progression being made. Like, I know within our own county, in recent years, our standards have raised quite significantly compared to even whenever I just started. And I don't necessarily think it'll, delay anything overly much. But I think I don't think in terms of like the growth, I don't think it'll overly develop too much, because as I think each sport and each county board is going to continue to push on, and I think whenever integration does come, it'll, as long as it's done correctly, there's no point in rushing things. So if it's going to be a bit longer, then that's fine, because I do think within our sport there's still progress being made, and it'll still continue to be made.
Brilliant. And obviously now you're in the thick of it with club championships, so you have a final to look forward to. Yeah.
I think within our club, we you can never take anything for granted, and in recent years we haven't always been competing in finals, so yeah, it's something we're really looking forward to, and are just going to prepare the best we can to try and put out a performance on the day.
Tell me a little bit about Clonaireann and the success over the last number of years, and I suppose especially the underage success as well. You've had great success across the club.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had such a positive experience whenever I was underage. Growing up within the club, we have a great lady setup behind us that are really kind of pushing on and trying to achieve as much as we can through underage, and then to kind of bring that into senior level. We had brilliant players to look up to and aspire to be like when we were younger, and to get to grow up and play alongside them at senior level was it's brilliant. Like, it definitely brought me on a lot, and now I think we obviously had our first Ulster success last year, and it's a culmination of years and years of work. And we had a lot of underage girls as part of the panel, and hopefully that will stand to them. They'll be growing up not just dreaming of winning a county championship. They'll be pushing on as well, and hopefully there'll be more Ulster titles to come, and hopefully beyond that. But no, there's such a great lady setup within our club to try and get the best out of us, which is brilliant.
And you can definitely see the impact that's had on the county then, when the club championship is so strong. With the Division 2 last year, you had Division 1 this year for the first time ever, Armagh winning it, and obviously yourself as captain.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really positive year, and I think to build on from that Ulster title with Clonaireann, a lot of those girls were involved in the Armagh setup then, having that experience of winning really tough games, I think stood to us. You can take a lot of confidence from that. We had girls playing in that had never played for Armagh before, and then were, you know, able to come on and make an impact straight away into the Armagh panel, which is brilliant. You know, that kind of experience really stood to them and was definitely a contributing factor in our Division 1 success this year.
And then obviously the All-Ireland semi-final, I lost it to Kerry, and Kerry obviously going on to win it, but you can see how close it is for Armagh. Is that probably the toughest thing to take away when you see Kerry going on to win it, that, you know, you're that close to it?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that the senior championship is so competitive, like, and on any given day, you know, it's any team can beat anyone. But obviously in that semi-final, we started really well, and then just, you know, we put ourselves in a position where we were behind, and just, you know, we struggled to kind of regain that lead. Looking back, I think, you know, a lot of girls were probably frustrated with that. But it's definitely a motivating factor. You know, it's possibly a missed opportunity, but, you know, there's next year and we can go, and, you know, we know we're not that far away. I think it'll be definitely a motivating factor going into the year, like.
And new management coming in next year?
Yeah, we have Joe Feeney and Darnell Parkinson stepping up. They were obviously involved with us last year. Really played such a big part in our successes last year, and I know I was delighted to hear that they were going to step up and kind of push on and kind of try to build on the positive year that we had last year.
And what has it meant to you to captain Armagh?
It means a lot. I mean, I'm lucky enough to still be playing with former captains that I, you know, really aspire to be like, and are, you know, brilliant leaders within our group. So to have that kind of, I suppose, responsibility is, you know, it's a big one. But, you know, I'm lucky that, as I said, we have so many leaders within the group that, you know, I can kind of be supported and help support them as well. Which is, you know, it's great. But no, definitely a big honor, like.
And it's been a great year all round for Armagh. Obviously, you have great success in your own family with Barry playing as well. What was that like to see him go on and win an All-Ireland?
Yeah, okay, it was amazing. I mean, even just on that semi-final, you know, we were unfortunate to lose out in that, but, you know, you couldn't be too upset because there was a lot of distraction that week leading up to the men's final. Like, it was nothing like I've experienced before, really. I can't really remember 2002 too well, but no, it was unbelievable. And then I suppose to have that extra family element involved, it was, yeah, very special day, very emotional couple of weeks. But no, it was great.
Did you get to enjoy all the celebrations?
I enjoyed a bit of celebrations, but we had club training too, so that kind of doesn't take a back seat, like.
Well, good. And what does club mean to you? Obviously, we talk about county so much, but club is where it starts. Yeah,
definitely. I think you know, you grow up and it's those girls you're playing along with throughout your underage career. We're lucky enough to have like a good group of us that are still playing senior together. And it's, you know, we have all those memories together and we're still there, still trying to achieve the same goals. And it's that sense of community as well. You know, you're not just doing it for yourself. It's, you know, the whole community element. It's, you know, whenever we were playing in Ulster last year, the amount of people that came out to support us from our own club was unbelievable. The support we have within the club is class. Like, and yeah, I really love playing for my club. Like, it's something I really look forward to every year.
Oh, amazing, Clodagh. Well, thanks so much, and the very best of luck now in the championship final.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Dublin footballer Niamh Hetherton for the announcement of AIB's landmark sponsorship agreement with the LGFA, which sees AIB become the title sponsor of the coveted All-Ireland Club Championship. This historic 4-year sponsorship between AIB and the LGFA marks the first time a single sponsor has united all 4 codes of Gaelic games: Gaelic football, hurling, camogie and ladies football under the one banner. Niamh, it's great to get a chance to sit down and chat. How's things?
Yeah, all good, thank God.
Good. Well, it's brilliant news to see that AIB is coming on board for the club championship.
Yeah, it's a brilliant announcement. I've been fortunate enough to see what they do on the camogie side of things with club, and their work is brilliant. So yeah, it's great to see them expand to the LGFA as well.
And what does club mean for you? Obviously, we talk about county so much, but club is where it starts for everyone.
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of a good starting point, isn't it? Your club. You wouldn't be with county unless you had your club. So yeah, it's brilliant. We've been senior now for 6 years, so we're kind of building year on year, which is brilliant. And yeah, we're like, it's where you start playing football, and yeah, it's where you start to get to.
And tell me a little bit about how you got involved to begin with. I know your family are steeped in GA.
Yeah, it was kind of, the path was paved for me, with mum and dad heavily involved, and then I'm the youngest of 5, and we've all been involved since a young age. So I wouldn't say I had no choice, but it was kind of definitely, that was where the road was going to. So yeah, it was kind of just a habit from a young age, and it was kind of inevitable to get involved.
What has it meant for your parents to see you go on and represent Dublin?
Yeah, they've been fortunate enough to see probably 4 or 5 kids represent Dublin at different stages, which is probably unique in itself. The 2 lads would have played with Dublin hurlers, and then myself and Michelle would have played underage camogie, and then obviously I've gone on to play senior football. So yeah, it's probably, they're very proud, obviously, as 2 dubs themselves. So yeah, it's probably a unique situation.
Yeah, it's brilliant to hear, and that all of you are still involved. For the dual side of things, like obviously wanting to play, I'm sure, county at football and camogie, it just makes it that bit more difficult nowadays, that I suppose the commitment levels are so high.
Yeah, big time. I think underage kind of showed how difficult it was. I would have played dual first year minor, and you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by going to one over the other. So I think at second year minor, I just kind of had to make a decision, and unfortunately, that's just the way it goes, and it's just not possible and not feasible to play at such a high standard across 2 codes. So yeah, at second year minor, I chose to go with the football, and thankfully I'm still playing with Dublin.
Was it a tough decision to make at the time?
It would be rude of me to say yes. No, I've always kind of swayed towards football. So I'm not playing camogie this year either. So that was another tough decision, but yeah, no, it was kind of always football.
And if you're not playing this year, is it that you really just want to focus on football?
Yeah, I just think the last few years have kind of been very long, and one year has led into the next. So kind of looking forward to having that little bit of a break, and being able to go back with Dublin this side of Christmas is probably a bonus to that. Now that's not to say that our success with Vincent's wasn't a positive thing, but just getting championship leading in to November, December, was just killing me in January. So this year I made the decision not to play with Vincent. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of a break and get to go back to Dublin this side of Christmas.
Yeah, it is a lot. And like we're hearing a lot about the split season. Do you think the split season works, or is there something else that could be done?
Yeah, I think the split season does work. I know kind of in previous years we probably would have ran off a bit of the championship in April, May time, with football, but then by the time September comes, there's only 4 teams left in it. So you could have no club games for September onwards. So I do think that the split season definitely benefits the club players, I would think. And they're getting league games all the way up until like championship comes, and then even after championship we kind of have a few league games to reel off. So there's kind of games all year round, which I definitely think is a benefit. But
And when you look back at the season last year with Dublin, how do you reflect on it now?
yeah, we were obviously disappointed to go out in the quarterfinal. We knew Galway were like a strong opponent, and probably one of the toughest that we could have met in the quarterfinal. Probably wasn't our day on the day, but we were beaten by the better team, and fair play to them. Like, they went on and made it to the final, and kind of put up a good performance against Kerry. But obviously, and when we reflect on that, we probably will feel like it's probably one we might have left behind. Yeah, we obviously suffered a few injury blows the week of, which didn't help, but we would have still felt that we had enough to get us over the line. I think on the day, probably shot to score let us down, and these are games of small margins, and when you lose by a point, you can't afford to have your shot to score down so much. So I'd say, like, us not being clinical on one end, we were punished on the far end, and that's just the way sport goes.
And obviously having someone like Mick Bowen in there as manager and what he's been like over the last number of years, what impact has he had on you as a player?
Yeah, Mick has been there since I started playing senior, so obviously he's had a huge impact. And I think just the professionalism he brings to our setup is second to none, and I think he owes Dublin LGFA nothing. He's brought so much professionalism and equality towards our setup, and we've reaped the rewards of that. And he's been such a successful manager, and I think he can take great credit in that. Yeah, he's a brilliant manager.
And overall, what would it mean to have all of the codes under one umbrella in Croke Park and everybody working together?
I think that's what needs to happen. And I know 2027 is on the cards, but I think if it could be done sooner, the sooner the better. I know as like ladies football and camogie players, obviously not in Dublin, but in Cork and stuff, like the dual players are suffering massively. The fixture clash is obviously the big thing that needs to be fixed. And obviously just the equality across the board, and AIB are obviously leading the way with sponsoring all 4 codes in the club championship. So yeah, it's brilliant that this is happening, and it's definitely needed for all games.
There was actually reports as well today that it might be pushed back. Would that be frustrating, that if it is pushed back and it doesn't happen in 2027?
Yeah, I think like it should be happening sooner rather than later. I don't know how it's taken, why it has taken this long for the idea to be proposed. I think maybe the LGFA and the Camogie Association might benefit more than the GAA, but I do think that they're accepting it. And I just think it just needs to be done. We should all be under the one umbrella. And yeah, like I just think that's the way the game is going. The standard of ladies is just as high as the men's, and each intercounty player is putting in as much effort as whether they're male or female. So I just do think that the standards across the board there just needs to be one umbrella, and it just be consistent.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what everybody wants to see. So fingers crossed it's not pushed back. And what would it mean to you then, Niamh, to win a club championship with Clontarf?
Yeah, I suppose that's what everybody dreams of, having an All-Ireland medal, but what's better than an All-Ireland medal is an All-Ireland club medal or a club championship medal. We were fortunate enough in 2018 to win the intermediate championship, and then we went on and won the All-Ireland. To win the club senior championship would mean a little bit more. The Dublin Club Championship trophy is actually after my uncle, and so it would mean the world to win that game. My mum won it back in the 90s, so yeah, I'd absolutely love to win it, and it's my uncle's trophy, so that would make it even more sweeter.
Oh wow, tell us a little bit about your uncle.
Yeah, so my uncle was a pilot, and he actually passed away in 1989 in a plane crash. So my grandparents sponsored the trophy. So yeah, it's the Micheál Murphy Trophy, the Dublin Championship. So each year my mum or my granddad or my uncle presents it to the winning captain. So it would be unbelievable to get to the final and hopefully get over the line and have, please God, my granddad presented to me.
Oh, that is so special. And
Yeah.
did you say that your mom has won it before?
My mum won it, yeah, in the 90s. I couldn't tell you what year with Marina. So yeah, she has that one up on me.
Oh, unbelievable. That is a brilliant story. Well, Niamh, the very best of luck. Hope it all goes well for you.
Thanks, Mel.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Galway footballer Olivia Divilly for the announcement of AIB's landmark sponsorship agreement with the LGFA, which sees AIB become the title sponsor of the coveted All-Ireland Ladies Football Club Championship. The historic 4-year sponsorship marks the first time a single sponsor has united all 4 codes of Gaelic games: Gaelic football, hurling, camogie and ladies football under the one banner. Olivia, it's great to get a chance to talk. How's things?
Good, yeah, keeping well. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's great to hear that AIB are jumping on for the ladies football as well. Obviously for years it had just been the Gaelic football, the hurling and camogie. So it's great that we're all under the one umbrella.
Absolutely, it's so exciting. I think they've been involved with the men's games for coming into 34 years and the camogie for over a decade. So for us to be involved now as well is really exciting and a huge step in the right direction.
And for you, obviously, you have so much success in the club scene. Tell us about Kilkerran Clonberne and what it's like as a club.
Yeah, so we won our third All-Ireland in a row in 2023. So there was great excitement around. Before the three in a row, there was lots of disappointment and heartbreak over the years, and we lost the All-Ireland final in 2019. So we're a small rural club in North Galway. Two small parishes, we play together. We would be, I suppose, have a lot of the same struggles as a lot of rural clubs would have at underage. Growing up, we would have had difficulties in field of numbers at under 12, under 14. It would be a club where when I was under 12, I'd have been on the under 12, under 14, under 16 panel, and we would have had, 16, 17, 18 girls there. We would never have dreamt of winning an All-Ireland senior club title, let alone once, never mind 3 times. So it's huge, and I suppose the football is the heartbeat of the community.
What was different? Because many people will listen to that there and think, yeah, that's like us. We have certain players are going off to Dublin for work, for college, all of that, and it can be hard with a rural club. What was different, do you think, for you and your club?
I suppose, like all of the girls who went away, they always commute and they come back, and we have a junior team now as well, and our numbers are growing. So it's not easy. There's no secret answer or magic potion. It's a lot of hard work and a huge amount of commitment, and every year just having to raise the standards for yourself. And for so many years we were chasing, whether it be like Carnacan or Mourneabbey or other clubs, and now that we're here, we know that every other club in the country is chasing us. So we try and improve on the small things and play to a system that suits us and what works well for us.
And I would say good management and good coaches are really important as well. What was it like to have your dad involved for so long?
Yeah, it's special having a family member involved, and my two sisters play on the team as well. So that's nice. It's special. I think it's, over the years we've had different management teams, and it's, it's always local people involved who are, love the community, love the parish, and that love for the parish really shows.
And what is the hope this year then to back up your All-Irelands to get 4 in a row?
That's the ultimate goal, I suppose, but there's lots of obstacles there before we reach that. We're playing Salthill this weekend in the county semi-final, and they've had a lot of success themselves over the last few years. They won the Junior All-Ireland in 2022, won Galway Intermediate in 2023. So this is their first year senior, and they've started off by winning their first 3 games. So it's going to be a very tough battle. We haven't played them at senior level before, and we know exactly what they're going to bring, and that'll be a huge level of intensity and aggression, and they'll be hoping to knock us off our pedestal.
And that's the fun of it all.
Exactly.
When you look back at the inter-county scene last year, and obviously making that All-Ireland final, incredible to be there, to be involved, but you obviously want to win it. What was it like afterwards, the disappointment of that?
It was just absolutely devastating. It was so disappointing. I think immediately after the game, we felt like we didn't play to the best of our ability. We didn't give a good representation of ourselves. And sometimes that's the most difficult way to walk away from a game, when you know you didn't play to the best of your ability. And a few days and a few weeks afterward were hard. I think now looking back on it and having had a chance to reflect on the year, there is lots of positives to take from the year as well. And it was our first All-Ireland final since 2019, and with a lot of new girls coming into the panel, some players first time playing in Croke Park, and there's lots of positives to take from it as well. And it's just important that we learn and we build for it going forward.
And what would it mean to have all of the codes under one umbrella in Croke Park?
It'll be huge. I think it's 2027 that's going to be happening, and with AIB coming on board now, that's a huge step as well. And to see these things happening before the full transition is great, and it does continue to help improve the profile of ladies football.
And if that is put off, there's reports today that it might be a long way off. Would that be frustrating that if it doesn't happen in 2027?
Yeah, I think there will be some disappointment involved. At the moment, I suppose I spend most of my time trying to focus on the playing, and I leave the advocating and the planning to the GPA and the GA and the LGFA, and hopefully they can come to a resolution and see what works best for us all.
And is it great as a player to have something like the GPA?
Yeah, definitely. I think the GPA, they've lots of benefits, and only in recent years, I suppose, I've realized how much they do offer, and whether that's like education opportunities or career progression opportunities, as well as other resources. It's great, and they continue to grow as well. And now that we have access to all their resources, it's brilliant, and it's a great opportunity for players to meet other people, whether it's in similar areas of work or who have similar challenges or similar enjoyments.
And there's obviously a lot of players that would go off and play the AFLW at the minute. I know you went over one time to try out for trials. Is it ever something that's been on your radar to do?
So at the moment, to be honest, I'm just very happy in Ireland. I love playing with Kilkerran and Clonberne. I'm really enjoying playing my football with Galway as well. And it's just not something that fits into that schedule at the moment. It really would be either club football or AFL. And it's a hard decision to make, especially when you're having a lot of success here. Also, I don't know how good I necessarily will be at it either. So it's not that I'd never say never, but just for the moment, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing here, and I love following the AFL, but it's very much following from Ireland and seeing how well the girls are getting on out there, and they really seem to be taking to it too.
Well, Kilkerran and Clonberne are going to be delighted that you're saying that, and Galway too. Well, the very best of luck with the club championship at the weekend.